one of the biggest complaints of the users is I have so many apps on my phone. I have one for the cars, I have one for the bike, one for the moped. Why isn't there one that is offering all? And mostly what we have seen with the mass apps is that it's still not there. It's not fully working. Yeah. Not everything is in. You don't get like additionals like subscriptions or memberships or business accounts. So you cannot offer fully what customers want. And the municipality said, yeah, it's great what you're offering. And we want shared mobility, but how much of your rentals are now taking away an e-bike or maybe the distance you're normally walking? And what we have seen is that, of course, with kick scooters is way higher. That's even more. But what we have seen is if we add e-bikes with a smaller business area, so the short distance should always be the cheapest and the best with an e-bike, then we can offer way higher density, which in the end the customers want because you're only going to open the app where there's always a vehicle available in 3 minutes. Then with adding the e-bikes, we are making sure that we are getting people active on our vehicles. It's way cheaper to go around on a daily basis. And for companies, it's more interesting. So e-bikes, done. We had to do. We're now deploying thousands of e-bikes. So they're going to be just as recognized as the mopeds. I mean, the cars, that's a difficult one. I mean, the business is so different.
The car business, and even, I mean, there's so many aspects of it, right? How did you even begin with it? I have no clue. Please explain.
Yeah, so first of all, I was trying to understand, like, why do we have car sharing? For me, it just doesn't make sense. We're in a city center, for example, Amsterdam. There are 7 operators of car sharing, all doing the sharing that we could much better do on bikes and mopeds. Because if you buy one car, it's 30,000 euro. If you buy a moped, it's 2,000 euro. So you can have way more mopeds on a smaller space area. So in the city center, for me, at least with small cities we're having, it doesn't make sense to have car sharing because you can do it better with light electric vehicles. But of course, we want to make the difference where I strongly believe that we're making the difference between ownership and shared mobility. And there the point is, of course, in the city, moped, bikes, maybe scooters, perfect, you can use it. But what if I go to the next city? And therefore, I think the cars are really interesting. So we said we need 2 really good partners again. And we found them. So we needed a really good car supplier. So we found Doubelstein, BMW Mini, that was willing to supply cars, electric Mini Coopers, like the coolest. Yeah. And we made a partnership with Q Park. Q Park is the biggest garage provider in the Netherlands. And we said, why not changing your garage to a mobility hub?
Oh, wow.
So we now have spots throughout the Netherlands where we have charging stations and everything. So you can use your bike or moped anywhere you want in the city, go either to public transport or to the car. Then you're taking the car because we're guaranteeing the availability of the car and go to the next city. And then you're really replacing your ownership of a vehicle to shared mobility whenever you want. So it was like the missing piece in our offering.
Yeah, that's quite interesting because I hadn't even thought about the parking aspect of it because you need to have dedicated parking spots, right? Yeah. So does that limit where the car can go in certain areas? They cannot park anywhere, or they have to always park at the Q Park spot?
Yeah, so you can park anywhere where you want, but to end a rental, it has to be in any of the Q Park locations we're actively using. So it can be that you go to the ocean for a day, or you head to the beach. It can be that you're going to a meeting, but it can also be so many different options to use the car. And we see this more and more happening just because everyone is used to having a car themselves or maybe from the company. But as it now looks like, at least in the Netherlands, people are not going to go back to the office 5 days. Yeah, so having a nice car in front of the house is nice. But if it costs 600 euro a month and only using it 2 days a week, then it's more interesting to use shared mobility always in your city. And when you need to go to another city, use a brand new electric Mini Cooper and just pay per minute.
They look really good. And in terms of the rental, the subscription, is there a difference between the car sharing and the smaller vehicles like the mopeds and bikes? For example, I assume if I would rent a car, maybe it would be for a longer time, right? Maybe for like a half a day or like maybe even a day if I want to go to the beach. So do you have like a different rental subscriptions or pay as you go type of options for the different modes, or is it all the same?
Yeah, so the pricing is of course different. What we did for the cars, we made a small unlock fee, just in making sure that people are not going to use it in the city, because that's not why we offering it, and make it cheaper on a minute price. So we're now seeing that a lot of people are using it around an hour. So the thing that our idea is that people are not using it for a day. Because if you use it a day, mostly you needed 1 hour to go and 1 hour to go back. So
Exactly.
if we can ensure that there's always a vehicle fully charged and ready for you, you will only take it an hour to go to work, and in the end of the day, an hour back to get home. So you don't need it the whole day. And that's the complete system. You're only paying for the amount of time you need the vehicle. So I think that's a really good difference. And the thing we're now going to test, so that's still not officially online, but
Oh wow! So we are having the scoop.
you are hearing this for the first time.
Yes.
We're going to do a test. It's unlimited driving for an e-bike, moped, and a car, 24 hours for €50. So with this offering, you can use shared mobility 24 hours, unlimited, like as much as you want, for just €50. Well,
Whoa.
if I now go to one of the normal rental companies and rent a car, I will pay more just for the car.
Whoa! For €50, you can use it unlimited, bike, moped, and car.
Bike, moped, car, 24 hours, including charging, including everything. Everything is included.
That's amazing. Wow! And you know what is